Afternoon people, and welcome to another video. This video I'm hoping to give you a few hints and tips, approximately 10 to 15 hints and tips if you're out there now, predominantly UK, and you're out there now thinking of buying a shed or converting your shed or log cabin into a little bar down a garden. I'm getting loads of hits on some of my other videos. I've had a few hiccups along the way, so I thought I'd write down a few hints and tips for you people out there. Bit of advice, a few hints and tips, and hopefully when you go to build your bar or when you convert your shed, you'll be able to get a little bit of information and make your journey a little bit easier than mine was. So tip number one, I would say, build the shed or the bar, or when you get it installed and fitted, get it off the ground. I bought mine years and years and years ago when we first moved in, and money's always tight when you first buy a property and you're first buying bits and pieces. I bought mine years ago, and it's a few £1,000s. If you look at my other videos, you'll see the size of it. It's not massive, but it's a bit larger than a normal shed, and it's like shiplap type. It's not shiplap, so it's not like proper logs, but it's like a quarter of a log, a shaved down log. Gives it a bit of a better look. When I first bought it years ago, I think it was about £3,000, which in those days was quite a few quid. Still is today, of course. And I remember the guys brought it around to the back garden. I've got a concrete base that it's sitting on. It was already an existing base I had. So I thought, right, we'll sit on that concrete base. And I extended the concrete base a little bit, and we sat the shed down on the concrete base. And the guys erected it and put it together. And when I ordered it, I remember they said to me, did you want it raised up off the ground on some small railway sleepers? Money was tight then. I spent a few thousand on the log cabin. I couldn't afford it more. I said, no, it's fine. We'll have it as it is. Dump it down where it is. That'd be fine. The guys mumbled to themselves, oh, it should really be off the ground, blah, blah. Well, you think about it. Every single shed you buy and every single log cabin you buy, it's got a wooden frame and it's off the ground. It's not sitting right on the ground. So it's on timbers like that when you buy them. And so I thought, that'll be fine. Years later, I went to move it away from the fence and move it away from the back fence and the side fence, the neighbour's fence. Another tip, another story in a minute. Years later, we went to move it, and the whole floor collapsed. And it's then I realised those guys were right. They knew what they were talking about. So what my son and I did, we had to put timbers underneath it with some car jacks and jack it up off the ground, rip the whole floor out in the end, start again. We built a brand new floor with some proper tannelised timbers. Brand new floor we built, a timber frame, slid it under the shed, under the log cabin, lowered it back down, redid the floor. And what I've done now, I've raised it off the ground on some small railway sleepers. What happened was, unbeknown to me, during the winter months, next door to the shed, I've got a tree, a plum tree. When the plums drop and the leaves drop off the shed and twigs drop off the shed, unbeknown to you, they're blowing underneath your shed. And they're building up a pile of rubbish. When we took our rotten floor out, there's piles and piles of leaves and old plum shells and rubbish and debris from the tree, just in general, blown under the shed. And what had happened is they built up a pile like that. Obviously over the winter months, over the years, it's got wetter and wetter and wetter. That wet then transfers into your floor, into your timber beams. So, long story short, when you buy your shed, when you build it, think of the height you want it off the ground and add some. Get it off the deck. Even if you have to have steps down the front, get it off the deck, get it off the floor. Give yourself some space. Bit of air circulating underneath as well. And if you want to stop vermin or whatever getting underneath and debris getting underneath, just get some extra timbers around the outside edge and raise some timbers down and get it all coated up nice. That's tip number one. The rest of the tips will hopefully be a bit shorter. So tip number two, that's tip number one, a little bit long-winded, but get the bloody shed off the ground. Whether you build it yourself, whether you get guys in to do it for you, make sure there's a gap under the ground, whether it be on grass, concrete, whatever, it's got to be jacked up. Always expect the unexpected. Tip number two, get it away from your fence, your neighbour's fence and your back fence. I think in the UK there's a legal requirement on the height of the building. I think it has to be a metre. Depending on the height of the building, it has to be a metre from any neighbouring fences or walls. The main thing I would say is for your own benefit. Get it away from your fence, get it away from your back fence. You want to be able to walk all the way around it and keep it nice and clear and tidy. Don't put a lot of crap down the side because you will start getting damp. Don't have the side and the back and the sides and the back as a dumping ground. Keep it nice and clear so you can walk around. So every year you can go down the side, down the back, both sides, and give it a nice coat of paint. You can repaint it and look after it, check for any damp. So that's my little tip. Tip number two, keep it nice and clear. this is what I've done. So here we are down the side of my shed. Now this is the space I've got. This is the neighbour's fence, and this is the shed. This is the type of wood I was talking about. But I can get all the way down here. It does need a bit more to clear out, but I can get all the way down here and around the back. That enables me to coat it up. Keep it nice and clear. Give yourself a space so you can walk down the side, paint the shed up. It'll be a benefit to you in the long run. You may look like you're wasting a bit of garden space, which you are, but again, you can get down the side every year and give this a coat of paint, whatever colour you want, whatever protection you want. Keep this clear. Don't let any rubbish build up. Keep it all nice and clear. Keep it off the ground. So tip number 3, get electrics fitted in as soon as you can. It's going to cost you a few quid, but get an electrician in. Don't muck about. Get the armoured cable down the side of your house, running from your consumer unit in the house, your fuse box in your house. Get it wired up as soon as you can. Little consumer unit in the corner, you feel so much safer, and then you can get your tools in, you can plug your tools in, you can plug a TV in, you can plug some music in, get it up and running. You can actually get it running before you actually finish it. If you leave it too long, it will end up as a dumping ground. You'll start putting rubbish in there. Before you know it, you'll open the doors, you won't be able to get in the bloody shed, and your bar's finished, your little dream's over, okay? So get it wired in, spend the 200-300 quid, whatever it costs, spend the money, get it wired up properly. Proper consumer unit in the corner. You only really want 2 fuses, I believe. You want one for the ring main, one for your lights, indoor and outdoor lights. That's it. Metal consumer unit box, I think, is the regs nowadays. I'm no expert. Get it wired up properly. Get a couple of quotes, get a guy around. It's a few quid to outlay, but once it's done, and you'll feel a bit happy about it. And as I say, you can get your tools plugged in, then you can start building a bar. So memorabilia, yeah? You want to get this shed bar built, you want to get your bar up and running. While you're waiting for the shed to turn up, while you've ordered it, while you're waiting to get the money together, start collecting bits of memorabilia. If you've been to any gigs, concerts, anything like that, they look great framed up. Go on Amazon, there's these places in China that do these little tin signs, bar signs, pub signs, a lot. Start collecting bits and pieces, get yourself excited about it. So when your bar's open, the great thing is, I think, is decorating. The boring bit is getting the shed done, the electrics, and stuff like that. The exciting bit is start decorating. Get some flags on the ceiling, some tin signs on the walls, all this sort of thing. It's only like a couple of quids, yeah? Get these little signs up, your favourite artists, singers, etc. on the wall, and some signs. Maybe photographs your family or whatever. My new one there. Once you tell your family and friends that you're building a little bar, they start sending you bits and pieces for your birthday and Christmas. They're out and about, wondering about, oh, that'll be nice. That'll do for so-and-so's bar. So, and yeah, get your memorabilia collected. It gives you something to look forward to. Right, where were we? I'm not sure what tip we're on. I've flown through 2 or 3 tips already. Insulation. It needs to be insulated. I didn't do mine brilliantly, I must confess. I did it with some polystyrene I had left over from other bits and pieces. I've insulated the ceiling. I insulated the floor, I think I remember doing. I insulated the walls, but there are gaps. I mean, if it was a house, it wouldn't be up to scratch, but it's not, it's a shed. You got to weigh up the pros and cons, really. It's insulated to a certain extent, but I never spent fortunes on insulation. Again, it's down to budget, it's down to how much you're going to use it. This does me. But I go on Facebook and these Facebook pages, I look at some fantastic, really brilliant work that people have done. But they're better than my house. So some people have got unlimited funds and they're just throwing money at it. But at the end of the day, how long are you going to go down there for? I'm going to use this place a lot more in the summer. Summer just gone, I've used it quite a bit more. We've just had the garden done, landscaped, a little patio done. Well, I wouldn't call it landscaped so much, but it sounds a bit posh. But we've just had the couple of little patios done in the garden, some furniture out there. So that's a nice area to sit. So I'm looking forward to this summer coming in 2021. Getting some friends around, having a few drinks, watching a bit of football, etc. So do you want to waste a load of money on a shed? Up to you. It depends what sort of funds you got. Don't go mad over it. At the moment, I'm down here once a week in the winter times. And because of lockdown and that, you can't invite people around. So you're sitting on your own at the end of the day. Christmas was a bit quiet, and I thought, and New Year's Eve was a bit quiet. I initially was going to have a party down there, but that never turned out. That never happened, did it? So don't go mad, but it's up to you. Look at your budget. Excuse me. Look at your budget. Spend what you can afford. Televisions. I've got 3 here, 42 inch, 40 inch, whatever, and a little small old one. I had a couple of old ones up the loft. I was going to throw them away, so I had a bit of a clear out. I cleared this out. I got a skip last summer. I cleared loads of crap out of here. Cleared the loft out. I had 2 of these little old TVs. I kept one back, which I'm pleased I did now. That's behind the bar. You go to a lot of pubs in the UK, and they have little TVs behind the bar, so while you're ordering a drink, you can watch the football. While you watch the football on the screen. So I've sort of tried to copy that down here. I've got a screen there, and a small TV there. I don't think these cost me anything. One was my mum's old TV. One was a family friend's old TV, my sister-in-law's TV, I think, because one broke. The neighbour somehow buggered it up, I don't know. And then the other one was from up the loft. So I don't think the TVs cost me anything, but they're all working. They're fine for down here. Fine for what you want. So yeah, while you're waiting for your shed to turn up, your log cabin to turn up, or while you're building it, try and source some TVs. Have a look on Facebook. You know, get a couple of cheap. Have a look at. In fact, they're so cheap. TVs are so cheap now. People are buying big TVs, big screen TVs now for 400 quid, 300 quid. So they're old ones. There's nothing wrong with the old ones. You can pick up some decent TVs for 20, 30 quid. Your family members are probably getting rid of them. They're in the bloody way. The slimline TVs now, they're great. Whack a Firestick in there. Another little tip. Get yourself a Firestick. I've got a Firestick in my main TV. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. I've got a Firestick in my main TV here. Which is connected to the Wi-Fi. That Firestick, then I've got a little box. I'll put a link in the bottom if I remember. I've got a little box, a little splitter box, which I bought off Amazon, which is quite cheap. So the Firestick gives me Amazon, Netflix, which I pay for, and I pay for the Amazon. It might give me some dodgy films and some dodgy channels. I'm not saying, because that's dodgy and that would be wrong. That's connected to the house via Wi-Fi. I'll talk about that in a minute. So this main TV, I've got a splitter box with an HDMI cable running from that main TV to this small TV, from that small TV to that tip. So I've got 2 or 3 HDMI cables. All of them are linked together. When I want to, I can switch all 3 TVs on, put a film on or football on and watch it on all 3 TVs. Turn the sound down on a couple of them and just have one main one. Brilliant. It's like being down a pub. Music. You must have music down your bar, yeah? So you want some music. I've recently, if you watch my other one, I've got a little record player, so I want to get my vinyls out of the loft. It depends on your age. Got a little cheapish, better not say cheap, because it was a present. Got a cheapish record player off of Amazon. Some better speakers now and an amp wired in. Sounds great. I'm really looking forward to someone who can use it properly. On top of that, I have Alexa. Alexa, are you awake? Yeah, that's when she starts snoring.
Just having a nap.
Yeah, fine. So Alexa, I think is brilliant. I subscribe to Amazon Music, Amazon Prime. So I've got my Alexa here, and I can also talk to the family up the top of the house via Alexa. Plays anything you want. And these Alexa Echo Dots are pretty good sound.
I don't know that one.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking about you, Alexa, okay? So be quiet for a minute. I can connect that Alexa to a little speaker over there, Bluetooth speakers, wherever I want. So in the summer months, I'm going to put the Bluetooth speaker outside, or we can play anything we want over there. If we're not, and we've got the choice of the vinyl as well, so we'll be using the vinyl. Another tip, grab a fridge. Yeah, 1 fridge, 2 fridge will be fine. I've got 2 fridges, because if you watch my other video with me beer on tap, one's for me beer in a bag, in a box, which is great. One's I've drilled a hole through the sides, that's specifically just for that. I then sourced on Facebook a few months back a glass fronted fridge, but it's just a standard glass fronted fridge. Nothing special. I have read somewhere on some pages that if you get the proper pub ones, the wide double fronted, glass fronted fridge, they do cost a few quid to run on electric, so just be warned. Watch your old electric bill. You can get away with just 1 fridge, especially in the summer. You do want a fridge, you want your beer nice and cold. My smaller fridge, my other fridge, sorry, was just a normal door. I just took the shelves out, drilled a hole through the side, put the beer in that, straight to the pump with a non-return valve. That's brilliant. So it's quite 2 fridges maximum, up to you. Have a look around. I think, I was going to put it on the wall actually in a little frame, I've forgotten. I've got it somewhere. I think I won that fridge. It just reminded me now. I won that fridge on eBay a couple of years back. It cost me £1. He had it up for like bidding on eBay, going Westcliff in Essex. And it was only up the road from me. And I bidded on it. And I felt a bit guilty picking it up. No one else bidded. I felt a bit guilty picking it up. No one else bid apart from me, and I won it for £1. But I think a guy just moved into a flat with his missus to do the flat up. And it's an old fridge left over. I gave it a clean out. It's ideal for a few beers. And yeah, £1. But I was going to keep the winning ticket thing and print it out and put it on the wall. I think it's a bit of a laugh, yeah. But yeah, I felt a bit guilty. I think he's just getting rid of it, really, the bloke. If I hadn't won it, you would have just dumped it out the front, I think. But so yeah, get yourself a fridge, a couple of fridges. Shelving. You got to have some shelving for your beers and your glasses, haven't you? If you look here, my bar's pallets, couple of old pallets with, this is scaffold boards. I've done this video before. This is 2 scaffold boards here. I've burnt them, scalloped them out. Get the old blowtorch out. Same here. That shelving there is old scaffold board, single width scaffold board. I started getting used ones delivered, and then I thought, well, I might as well just go down to B&Q. I think they do 12, 13 foot scaffold boards, whack them in the back of the motor. Yeah, I did that in the summer actually. I loved it. Very, very therapeutic. Get the old blowtorch out, or some sort of burner, burn them as much or as little as you like, sand them down, bit of varnish, job's a good one. I think they look quite nice. And then just to finish off, just to show you, if you want to go to town, you go on Amazon, you get these little plastic, the old plastic drip tray things, which I think just bring it up nice. And then obviously you get your lights, cheap as you like these lights. Again, if you watch one of my other videos, you've got, these are all on Alexa. Alexa, turn on bar.
Okay.
So they're all on Alexa. So, that clock there I found coming home from the pub. When the pubs are open, walking up the road a bit worse for wear, and it was just dumped on the seat by a bus shelter. So I thought I'll have that. That was fake. That's weird, isn't it? Again, these little signs. These are the sort of things you want. Get these little signs from Amazon. You know, you go on holiday, when you're allowed back on holiday, pick up these little bits and bobs, little souvenirs. Yeah? And you'll be surprised, once people find out you've got a bar, and you're making a little bar, they all sort of bring some drinks around and bits and bobs and gifts for you. I've got too much to drink, I can't keep up. I can't drink it. Get this bloody COVID out of the way and get rid of lockdown, and we'll be back on track, won't we? Heating. You'll need heating. Even in the summer months in the UK, you'll need some heating. Now, I initially started off with this little thing. I think this is an oil-filled rad type thing. It didn't keep tripping out. It's some sort of thermometer set on it. I said right on number 6. It kept switching on and off and off. Obviously, you know, it was okay. It ticked over. But to be honest with you, it just didn't cut it. Not in the winter months. It might be alright in the summer. It was good because I had it plugged into an Alexa plug, a smart plug, and connected to Alexa. And I could switch it on and off via Alexa. It just wasn't getting hot enough down there, to be honest with you. It might be right in the summer. What I didn't want either, I looked at some other methods of heating, and I didn't really want to start affecting the electric bill in the house. I know I've got some TVs down here, some lights, but once you start getting some high-powered electric heaters in your pub, are you going to start affecting the electric bills and the bills in the house? So I didn't want to do that. So I've now switched over to this. This is the smaller height one, the tiny one, but it's still got the three bars on it. I've got that on at the moment. When it kicks in, is it going to light up? Oh, there you go. I might be running out of gas actually, because that's an old bottle. Now I've got this second hand. It's virtually brand new. I've got the receipt of it. I got this off Facebook for 50 quid. I think they're 80 to buy new, but I got it off Facebook for 50. It does take the smaller 7k butane bottle, but I've got a 15k bottle attached at the moment, so it doesn't fit in the back. It's meant to fit in the back. I've got a 15k one for my new gas barbecue outside. I've got a 15k one here. So I said to the guy on the way to work the other day, can I swap my 15k? Can I have a 7k one? He gave me a price, this Indian fella. And then he turned around and said, have you got an exchange? He only did exchanges at the petrol station, so I didn't have an exchange. So in the evening, I went to pick up the 15k bottle to take it to the petrol station to exchange it, and I realised it was virtually, well, it's a half full of gas. So I thought, what I'll do first, I'll use the gas up first, then I'll take it back and pick up the 7k, do an exchange, and then I can tuck that there. That goes into the back. There, okay? Now I find this does put out a nice bit of heat, but it uses up, I think it creates water in the air or something, or it can cause a gas. Have you noticed there I've got the window open slightly, because it's gone, actually it's better now. But when I first put this on, when I first popped down to do this video, I was getting a lot of water droplets on the mirrors and the windows. Now the reason I've gone for this type, it's a smaller one, so it's a little bit tidier. But the reason I've gone for this type is it's got some cut out features on it. Right, these fires hit, right, this is the fire I bought for down my bar, and I've got a window open for a bit of air. I would never ever leave any heater on down here unattended. I'll never sleep down here with it. Anyway, now the reason I bought this one is it's got this oxygen depletion system. So if you have all the windows shut and it burns the oxygen out in the shed or your cabin or wherever, it cuts out. It's a safety feature. It's also got a flame failure device. If the flame goes out and the gas is still on, it cuts out. Also, if it tips over, it cuts out. So it's a little bit safer than your older type. There was a few on Facebook that were a bit older. I thought I'll get a newish one, so it's boxed. So not a bad little heater. It's doing the job now, so it's quite warm at the moment. But I have got a window open, just get a little bit of air ticking over. So that's the options I've got. Two fires there, that one or that one. In the summer months, I might switch back to that. But again, because I'm using gas, when that gas runs out, I can just go to the petrol station or wherever, get myself another gas bottle. The missus doesn't moan at me, I don't get told off. So it keeps this separate from the house. Last thing you want is to build yourself a little bar, and then you're affecting the bills in the household, and your missus starts moaning at you. So that's heating. So get yourself some sort of heating down there, especially this time of year. So that's tip number whatever, I can't remember. Seating, goes without saying, you need some seats. Again, a couple of years back, I'm not sure the price nowadays, a couple of years back, I had a little hunt around on Facebook. I bought some old kitchen stools. In actual fact, I've probably got too many. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So, kitchen bar stools. But that's my favourite one there, that's the one I sit in normally. And then I built, you'll see this in another video, excuse the mess, I built some scaffold board, again scaffold board seating. There, and the back's there. Again, little piece cut off there. I got carried away, look, I burnt it all again. That's at a slight angle. So eventually, when I get round to it, or when my other half gets round to it, we're having proper, this is all coming off, because this is the garden furniture cushions, really. These aren't, but this is, that's the garden furniture seating. So under there, storage. I can lift this up, slide this out. I've got storage there. It's full of crap. Everyone loves a bit of storage. So eventually I'm going to get proper cushions made up for here, the seating and the back. And this is all going. Get yourself some nice seating, a little bit of storage underneath. You're laughing. Right, another little tip for you. You need some Wi-Fi. Well, most people do. I do. I don't know about you. You don't have to. You can be completely cut off, but some Wi-Fi is always handy. Now, my Wi-Fi, when I connected up the Firestick, the Amazon Firestick, from here to my house, which is quite a bit of a distance, it connected fine. A lot of people complain they can't connect up, but mine connected fine. That's for TV and the music and Alexa. When I started getting the smart bulbs, the smart lighting, if you look at my other videos, you'll see the smart lighting. When I started getting the smart lighting, outside and inside lighting, I had trouble with it. I had trouble connecting to the Wi-Fi. Obviously, the built-in system inside is quite, maybe not as strong as the Firestick, I've got no idea. I was going to run an Ethernet cable from the house to the bar, but we had a BT guarantee Wi-Fi all around your house. They sent us one of these BT disc things, what they call a BT disc. So unbeknownst to my family, because it was unplugged upstairs, so I thought I'll have that, because it's not a massive house we live in. So I nicked the BT disc and I've got it down the bar there. So there's my Wi-Fi there. So that's connected up to the house. These external disc things, that's connected to the house. And the lights, outdoor lights, indoor lights, and everything else work lovely now. So I've got good Wi-Fi there as well. But you might need to run an Ethernet cable, depends on the situation of your bar. So another little tip for you. probably one of the last little tips I've got to give you, really. It goes without saying, when you build your bar, your seating, your heating, your TVs, let's think about the summer, yeah? It's not all about sitting indoors having a beer. Get outside. That's where it's at with your mates. Women, children, your mates, have a little beer, yeah? So what you want, don't forget to think about the outdoor area as well. Don't disregard that. Get yourself a nice little patio, some nice little garden furniture. In actual fact, now's probably the time of year to buy some summer garden furniture, because you'll probably find, if you can find it in stock, it'll be pretty, I would imagine it's pretty cheap at the moment, because who's buying garden furniture this time of year, yeah? So get out there now and buy some garden furniture. So let's pop outside and have a look at my little seating area, and I'll show you where I sit in the summer. I cannot wait for the summer. Get the lads round for a beer. So this is my little area, my little outdoor seating area. All these stones I'm having running all the way down the side, all the way around. I'm eventually going to have them running down the side there. A couple of little trees what I'm meant to be trimming apparently, who knew? I know nothing about gardening. And this is my little favourite seating area here. Patio wants all cleaning and resealing. I'll do that in the summer. And I've got a little alcove here. And it's only this cheap plastic furniture, which isn't too bad, from B&Q. Right, there's my wood store, outdoor bin, wood store, axe. Everyone, you got to have an axe, haven't you? I don't know what for, but oh, everyone has an axe, don't they? All the lads have got axes. Little burner, that's a spare one. Drink chiller, table chairs. Yeah, my little area. So my favourite seating here, and on this chimney, this was a Father's Day present. A bit of rock and roll, right? So what we do, you sit here in the summer, and you put your feet up. You light the chimney in the evening with your mates, and you crack open a couple of beers, or you pop into the bar, and you get yourself one at the pump. Can't wait. So that's my little hints and tips video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Even if you take away one piece of information from that video, it's been worthwhile. So if I ramble on too much, please click like, please subscribe. There's a few more videos coming. Any questions, feel free to ask below. I'll see if I can dig out some links for you for some bits and pieces. Keep an eye on my next video. Be one of these puppies. I'll be repairing, I think this one. This one I did a while ago. I refurbished it, cleaned all the cylinder out. And this one, this is the one I use at the moment for my beer in a bag. This one here, got nothing in it at the moment, so I've took it all apart, emptied it out. This one, so keep an eye out for my next video, because I'll be taking this one apart, refurbishing it, because when you buy these, they are full of crap. If you get a second-hand one, you can buy new ones, but if you get a second-hand used one on Facebook, eBay, I think they're quite expensive at the moment, but be warned, they are full of old crud built up over the years from old bars and old different houses that have been put through. It's nice to take it apart, put it in a bowl of soapy water and clean it all up, and then you can buy a seal kit. I'll put some links in the video below. You can buy a seal kit that seals it all up properly. I think you got like a half pinter and a quarter pinter, depending on the size of the cylinder. Put new seals in, new pipe work, and it's as new. And then you can pull some nice beers through. Good luck with your build. Put in the comments below how you're getting on. Any questions, feel free to ask. Good luck with your build. Don't stress over it. Get it done. Get drinking those beers and chilling out and having a bit of nice time with your family. Till next time, cheers.